expert and a certified Google trainer. Let me see what you did there. There we go. Okay, we're good to go now. Gotcha. Joe is the author of High Energy Secrets, How to Lose 95 Pounds and Keep It Off, and his latest book, High Energy Networking. Joe is a member of the National Speakers Association and is the host of the popular podcast, The Breakthrough Maze, where he coaches entrepreneurs on how to go from frustration to Mojovation. I like that. He is a contributing member of the YEC, the Young Entrepreneur Council, a community of the world's most passionate, driven entrepreneurs. Joe is on a mission to help 1,000 hungry entrepreneurs go from frustration to Mojovation via his online courses, books, and speaking engagements. Joe is proud of all of his accomplishments, but most of all, he is proud of his 5 amazing kids. And I just want to say on a personal note, we're so glad to have Joe back. He last hosted the IEA webinar. You know, we give these every month. They're always hosted by an IEA member. So if you have a great topic and you want to share it, please reach out to me in the chat and I can help make that happen. But Joe gave our talk in March of 2020. And I thought that's so funny because we can all think back to where we all were the 3rd week of March in 2020. And there was Joe teaching us about LinkedIn then. So let's see what's changed in about 2 years. So without further ado, I'm turning it over to Joe.
Wow. Thank you very much. Let's give Lisa a round of applause. Lisa's the amazing director of both the Charlotte chapter of the Executives Association and the director of the whole thing, right? The whole
IEA, that's right. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of energy to put all this together. So thank you for herding everybody together here to come. Today's presentation is going to be how to get more referrals, build more valuable relationships, how to grow your business, creating success on LinkedIn. A couple of reminders. Make sure to close your distractions. If we're going to be here together till the top of the hour for another 45, 50 minutes, let's make sure that we're not distracted and we're focusing. Also, if you don't have water, if you have water, take a sip of water. A 5% drop in hydration is a 30% drop in energy. So make sure to drink up, get hydrated. I always say, if you want to get motivated, you got to get hydrated. So take a sip and engage in the chat. If there's a question that you have that comes up, put it in the chat. I am monitoring the chat. If there's a comment of something that I say that you want to reinforce, put that in the chat as well. And occasionally I'm going to prompt you to say something in the chat. So know how to chat. If you're just logging in right now, make sure to put your first name, last name, company name in there, and make sure that you're on mute. If you're not on mute, I'm going to mute everybody just now, just in case somebody starts saying some private things in the chat. I'm going to mute everyone, but you guys could feel free to unmute yourself if you want to say something. Feel free to interrupt me. I'm totally fine. Just don't turn off your mute by accident and start arguing with your significant other, because that would be really funny. Okay, and then take some notes. Have a little pen and a paper, and what I want you to notate is your action items. Because at the end of this, what's going to matter is not if you got entertained by Joe Apfelbaum, but if you're going to take some action, because knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. So write some things that you're actually going to do, because I'm going to give you guys actual tangible things that you can do to grow your business. And if you stay to the very end, we got a gift for you just for coming. I don't know if you know this, but 80% of B2B leads sourced from social media come directly from LinkedIn. A lot of people ask me, Joe, what's the difference between LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok? What's the difference between LinkedIn and all these other platforms? Well, it's all about the context. When you're on LinkedIn, you're thinking networking, you're thinking inspiration, you're thinking business. When you're on Facebook, you're thinking about friends, family, food, and other things related to Facebook. When you're on Instagram, you're thinking about reels, and you're on TikTok, you're thinking about those dances and those things that people do on TikTok. When you're on LinkedIn, you're there to build relationships. It's the largest professional social network. And you might think, well, I don't really have time for LinkedIn. And I always tell you, it's like people have time. They just don't have their priorities. If you haven't made LinkedIn a priority, I would suggest that making LinkedIn a priority is a game changer, because that's like basically having an execs meeting, an executives association meeting, anytime you want. You join LinkedIn, people are on there. There's 800 million people on LinkedIn right now. 10 years ago, when I started teaching LinkedIn, there were only 65 million members. And 65 million is still a lot, but they want to get to 3 billion people. It does take time to build meaningful relationships. So you have to prioritize. And I always say the fortune is in the follow-up. So make sure that when you're using LinkedIn, you're using it as a tool to follow up with the members at execs, with the guests that come to your chapter, and also with their relationships as well. Now, the question is, are you willing to invest the time that it takes to learn LinkedIn? For those of you that don't know me, I built a marketing agency 13 years ago called Ajax Union. And the reason I was able to be so successful at picking up the right type of clients is because of networking. And LinkedIn is the best place to be able to build relationships and grow your network. Now, I want you to self-identify of where you are right now on your path to success on LinkedIn. And in the chat, you can write, are you absent? That means you have a profile, but you don't log in. Are you a lurker? That means that you look mostly, you don't engage that much. Once in a while, you'll like something, especially if it's my post, you'll like my post. But most of the time, you're just watching. You're not really sure what to do. Maybe you're a networker. You are knowing what to do, but you're not consistent. You're more dabbling on LinkedIn, and you're doing it when you have the energy to do it, but you're not necessarily doing it consistently and getting results. Or you're an influencer. You know who you're targeting. You know what your goals are. You know how much time you're spending on it, and you're getting results. I'm looking at the chat right now. We have some people that are networkers, some people that are lurkers, some people that are absent. The key is if you're absent, you're missing awareness. You don't even know what you don't know. You don't even know that there's a benefit of going onto LinkedIn. You don't even know that Microsoft paid $26.2 billion to acquire LinkedIn a few years ago. And they converted it from just a place where you just connect with your coworkers to a content marketing platform. And I'll explain more what that means in a few minutes. Maybe you're a lurker. You don't have the right strategy. You need the right hacks, the right tools so you don't waste time, the right skills to work smarter. Maybe you're a networker and you're dabbling because you don't have the accountability. So wherever you are on the ladder of success, there's actually a 3-step process to get to the next level. And that's having branding, building, and booming. Branding, for those of you that don't know, is basically a strategy for LinkedIn. It's what is your plan? What would you like to achieve with this? Just like when you go to a networking event, you have to ask yourself, what would I like to achieve? Am I just going to eat the cheesecake? Am I just going to the Golden Coast in Las Vegas to gamble a little bit? Or am I going because I want to lead, because I want to grow my business, because I want to build relationships based on trust? So what is your business plan, your marketing plan, and your LinkedIn plan that translates back to your bottom line? Then who are the people? You know, there are 800 million people on LinkedIn. You can only have up to 30,000 connections on LinkedIn. That's a lot, but you know, there's a limit to how many people you can even add per week. Does anyone know what the connection limit is per week? LinkedIn actually put a connection limit per week. You can have up to 30,000 total, but they actually flag you if you send more than 100 connections per week. Now, we have ways to get around that, and we teach our students in our course how to get around the connection limit. But at least adding 100 new connections every single week of the right people is going to help you. For example, Tina Larson, she works with people that are board members in co-ops and condos in New York City. So her centers of influence are other real estate agents, other professionals that work in residential buildings in New York City. And so she knows who the right people are to connect with on LinkedIn. I want to know who the right people are to connect with for you in your industry on LinkedIn so that you can invite them to an execs meeting or that you could build a relationship with them to be able to grow your business. And then the third component to Brandon is making sure you have the right promise, the right messaging. Most people, they don't understand what their messaging is because they don't have clarity as to who they're targeting. Once you understand who you're targeting, then you can speak to those people, which will help you get closer to your plan. So it's almost like the yellow brick road to success, going from plan to people to promise in that order. Then you can develop your stories. Now, features tell, stories sell. If you want to be able to grow your business at a networking event or on LinkedIn, you have to be able to tell the right stories. So ask yourself, what are the questions that people are asking me? What are the stories that I have that could make people start thinking about who they can refer business to me about and how they can connect with me and how do they want to get to know me? And then making sure you have the right profile. If I Google your name right now, whether it's Sherry or whether it's anybody else in this call, probably your LinkedIn's going to come up on the first page of Google, your LinkedIn profile. And so I want to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is optimized and you have all the right elements on your profile. And then I want to ask you, what are the tools, the technologies that you're using to help you in your mission? Because we all know that technologies make our life much easier. They make us be not just more effective, also more efficient with our time. And so automation, figuring out what type of automation you're using for LinkedIn is going to be important, making sure you're using the right dashboards, the right tools, and I'll show you a few today. And then the 3 most important things you need to do on LinkedIn. The first thing is to get exposure. The second thing is to get credibility. And the third thing is to have conversations. Ultimately, the one thing that's going to identify whether you're going to do business or not is how many conversations you had. If you want to grow your business, you can't just say, I'm using LinkedIn and I'm hoping for the best. Hope is a great thing. Hope is just not the best strategy. So have a number of conversations you want to have each week, and then you can have LinkedIn help you be able to create those conversations. It'll also help you build credibility. It'll also help you get exposure and stay top of mind. Most people in your association will not remember that you exist. That's the truth. They will not remember that you exist unless you stay top of mind with them by coming to the meetings, by posting on LinkedIn, by engaging in their comments, by replying to the emails that you get and sending out emails and stuff like that. So understanding how to get that exposure on LinkedIn, understanding how to build credibility, understanding how to book meetings is going to be important. And this is the entire system that will help you go from a lurker to an influencer. And you could do this in just 15 minutes a day if you understand how to do it. Now, LinkedIn has now over 800 million members, and it's growing quickly. So you might say, well, my clients might not be on LinkedIn yet, but LinkedIn is growing by 2 new members every second. LinkedIn CEO said he wants 3 billion people to be on LinkedIn, and it's growing as many of the millennials are growing up and they're using LinkedIn, and many of the people that are below millennials, I don't even know what that's called, and below them, I have a couple of kids like that. That's, people are joining LinkedIn as they're joining, they're graduating college and they're getting jobs and they're realizing, oh my God, my network is my net worth. And so just in North America alone, Canada, the US, there's 196 million people that are busy in LinkedIn, and 31% are coming from the United States. So out of LinkedIn, there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of people that are on LinkedIn, and you have to learn how to be able to leverage this to find the right companies, to find the right people, to build relationships, and to grow your business. And if you're not doing that right now, you're missing out on a huge opportunity to grow your business. Now, if you guys have actual questions about LinkedIn, I'm happy to answer them. And I'm happy to walk you through, but realize that the best time to network on LinkedIn is right now. And networking is not something you do like once in a while. Networking is something that you do continuously. Everywhere you go, when you go to a wedding, you're networking. You go to a bar mitzvah, you're networking. You go everywhere you go, you're networking and building relationships, staying top of mind. And so I want you to learn how to master LinkedIn so you don't have to waste a lot of time on the feed. I'm going to pull up my profile here on LinkedIn just to show you something interesting. I'm going to get right into LinkedIn over here, and I'm going to open up some of your stuff. Rose, I'm going to click on your profile too over here. I'm going to click on, if you guys haven't posted your profile in the chat, do that. So Rose has 115 connections. Did you know that the average LinkedIn user has 440 connections? The average CEO has 930 connections on LinkedIn. And it's really easy to add connections. All you got to do is go to somebody's profile and press the connect button. It's that easy. If the connect button's missing, that's okay. You click on the more button, the connect button will show up there. So let me click on Larry's profile right over here. You see, me and Larry are not connected yet. You see that? Me and Larry are not connected. By the way, Larry, I would recommend having a photo with you smiling. You have a beautiful face, but I'm sure you have even a more beautiful smile. I learned that from, I think it was Dale Carnegie. Have you guys ever read the book called How to Win Friends and Influence People? One of the things he says is that if you smile, people will like you, and people do business with other people that they know, they like, and they trust. Yes. So if you want people to like you on your photo, make sure that you have a photo of you smiling, unless you're a litigation lawyer. In that case, you want to have like a bulldog face, like really mean and stuff like that. But otherwise, you want to have a smile on your face. And one of the things that I always tell everybody to do on their profile is give people something to do, call to action, give your contact information. If you don't have your contact information on your LinkedIn profile, no one's going to contact you. People are Googling you. They're going to Google Larry, right? This is a very unique name. So I'm sure Google will show me that LinkedIn is right over here, right? There's people with his name on LinkedIn. I click on his LinkedIn profile. I get right over here and I'm like, okay, well, I want to contact him, but I don't know how. How do I contact this guy? I want to do business. I want to grow. I want to do something with him. So of course I may have to hit connect, but I may not want to connect right away. Or, so you got to make it really easy to have your thing. So now when you're sending a connection request, I want everyone to include a note in the connection request. What do you include in the note? 3 things. I want you to include a customized thing, right? So it's not automation, it's not some tool. So I'm going to write, Larry, thanks for coming to the International Executives Association seminar, right? So there's no way that a technology did that, right? I had to do that. I also want to know, how are we connected? How should we build trust? I see that you are connected with Doug Brown. Okay, so I'm connected to Doug Brown. He's connected to Doug Brown. I mentioned a mutual connection, so I customize it and I build some type of connection. And then I have to give them a reason for wanting to connect with me. Yes, people do things for reasons. People also don't do things for reasons. Those are called excuses, by the way. I always tell people you have reasons or you have results. Okay, so what's the reason? Why should Doug connect? Why should Larry connect with me? Let's connect so we can network and get to know each other. Yes? And then I put my name, Joe Apfelbaum. And then what I like to do is just write ajaxunion.com, because if it goes to his email, and this message will also show up in his email, he'll be able to click on my website and check out what I do. All right, so now now sometimes I also include CEO. I write CEO, ajaxunion.com. Sometimes I don't. In this case, I'm not going to write it. I'm just going to put a comma, and then boom, you go. Now I'm going to press send, and that will send him a connection request, and it will change from connect to pending. Okay? Now this is beautiful, because now I sent Larry a connection, and check this out. Now I'm going to send Larry an email. I have Larry's email right here with this tool. There's a tool called apollo.io that I use. And I actually have a template set up perfectly right now where I can easily pending. So I'm going to send him an email right now from my email without leaving LinkedIn that says, it looks like we have a pending connection request out, and I'd love to be connected with you on LinkedIn. Are you open to connecting? Especially if he's absent from LinkedIn, he may not see that pending connection request. Yes. So I want to email him too. Now, on top of emailing him, maybe I should call him. Yes. Should we call him? I don't know. Maybe I'll call him and say, hey, we have a pending connection request. And through this tool, I can actually make a phone call directly to him, which is really just incredible. I'm not going to show you guys how that works right now, but I want you guys to know that there's a lot more to learn about how to use LinkedIn to connect with people and build real relationships, even if they're not on LinkedIn always. Because remember this, 60% of people are not even using LinkedIn regularly. So there's 800 million people, 60% are not using it regularly, 40% log in every day. So there's a very big benefit from going on LinkedIn, but 60% don't. So that's why you have to use technologies and tools that help you be able to build relationships also outside of LinkedIn. I'm a big proponent of using LinkedIn. I'm a big proponent of growing your business, but I'm also a big proponent of getting people off LinkedIn. The goal is not just to be on LinkedIn. The goal is to use LinkedIn to get people off LinkedIn to get them into your business, either as a client or as a center of influence that will refer business to you. If this is making sense, put a $sign in the chat, because if it makes dollars, it makes sense. Okay, good. I know I have a lot of enthusiasm. I know. I'm very excited. I'm very excited about life. I love LinkedIn. I love building relationships, getting to know people. So Rose, I see that we don't even have second degree connections. So I don't even have the connect button here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the more button over here, and I'm going to press connect. I'm going to press connect. You see that? It's hidden. Ladies and gentlemen, if the more button is not there, then you're missing something. The more button's always there. There's always more. There's always more to learn. There's always more to connect. You could build a relationship. Now, now somebody said, Joe, should I connect with people who only have 100 connections? What do you guys think? Yes or no? Should I connect with people that have few connections? Yes or no? In the chat, tell me yes. Yes, of course. Because if they only have 115 connections and I connect with them, I'm basically 1% of their network. So when I post, I'm the only one she sees. Do you know how many people see my content each day? And I'm the only one. I'm going to show you guys something. I use bookmarks for everything that I do. I love connecting with people that only have 100 connections. You know why? Because whenever I post a poll, they will see it. Whenever I post an image or a photo, they will log into the feed and see it. I posted this video. 171 people saw it. 27 liked it. That's huge. That's a massive percentage. By the way, if you are able to speak to 100 people, to 171 people with a 1-minute message, you know what you would say? This is what I said. I'm running down the street and 171 people are watching me run down the street. Watch what I said.
If you want to have all the things that other people don't have, you have to be willing to do all the things that people are not willing to do.
So I have 1 minute, exactly 1 minute to share my wisdom with 171 people that watch my video. 27 of them approved the message because they liked it. 7 commented, and that's a way to stay top of mind. And it took me 1 minute to film it and 1 minute to post it. Okay, that's 1 minute. And my heart rate, can anyone guess what my heart rate was while I filmed that video? My heart rate right now, I can check on my phone. I can check on my watch. My heart rate right now, I'm pretty calm. I'm about 80 beats per minute right now. Because I'm an athlete and I run 5 to 6 miles at a time, my resting heart rate is somewhere in the range of 49. But when I'm running and I'm doing video like that, my heart rate's at approximately 170, 165 beats per minute. And I'm still promoting and I'm still putting stuff out there, but I need to catch my breath. So what I want you to realize is that every person that watches video spent at least 3 seconds watching this video. Every person, that 170 people, that's powerful to stay top of mind with your network. And if you take a look at who liked, are there any Executives Association members that like this? Real estate agents, potential clients, execs members, people in mortgages, people that are centers of influence. And we even have Tina Larson here. Tina Larson liked it. Woohoo! Look at that. That's powerful. So Philip is also a member of the Executives Association. He's our public adjuster. So as you can see, there's lots of people that I'm staying top of mind with and building relationships with without even having a one-on-one, without even calling them, by doing these actions. I recently launched something called a LinkedIn newsletter. It's a new feature on LinkedIn. We're going to be doing a 1-hour presentation on February 17th for our students inside our course and our coaching program on how to create your own newsletter. Now, the benefit of having a LinkedIn newsletter, which is a new feature of LinkedIn, is that people subscribe to the newsletter. I have 5,156 subscribers to my newsletter, and I launched it 2 weeks and 2 days ago. That's crazy. And every one of these people, whenever I publish one of these articles on LinkedIn, they get an email with the entire article in their inbox. So every single time I publish an article, 5,156 people get that. And it's growing every single day. I see the numbers growing. And so these, and I only published 3 so far because I'm posting them weekly, and each one is very long. Check this out. Look how long this is. The size doesn't matter when it comes to your articles, but you do want to be able to create something of value. So I talk about the sales qualification process. I talk about how do we onboard customers into our agency. I break down, this is my book on marketing. I break down how to build relationships, and I give them a relationship tip, a business tip. And I can turn this newsletter, this article on LinkedIn, into many different posts. Now, you might say, Joe, hang on a second. What's the difference between an article and a post on LinkedIn, right? Some of you might be confused about that. Well, on LinkedIn, you have the ability to see somebody's content, right? Let me teach you how to see somebody's content on LinkedIn. So if you go to my profile or anybody else's profile, actually, let me pull up Joe's profile. Okay, I'm going to pull up Joe. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, so I'm not going to butcher it, Joe. But I'm going to look at your profile, and I want to see your content. Have you posted anything anytime recently? So I'm going to click on see all activity, and then I can see everything he liked and commented on. Now, how magical is this, that if I have a prospect or someone I'm looking to build a relationship with, I know everything they liked and everything they commented on ever on LinkedIn. That's magic for a stalker. No, I'm kidding. That's magic for a networker. If you want to build relationships with someone, you got to know where they've been and what they're doing. You can't see that on Facebook. You can't see that on Instagram. You can't see that on Twitter, but you can see it on LinkedIn if you take my class. So now you took my class and you can see it on LinkedIn. Powerful. Now, if I click on posts, I'm going to click on posts. It'll show me everything he ever posted in the history of his life. So 3 years ago, Joe posted something on LinkedIn, but he hasn't posted since. Now there's 800 million people on LinkedIn, right? 40% are logging in every day. Yes. And there's only 1 million posts going up. Out of the 40% of people that are logging in every day, there's only 1 million posts going up. And most of them are coming from me. So he has an opportunity to post. There's a lot of people watching and very few people contributing. Yes, this makes sense. So Joe, I would recommend fixing your background banner. You can go to Canva. If you guys don't use Canva, there's a tool called Canva. You log into Canva. You can have a free account with Canva. We have a 27-minute tutorial on how to use Canva. You type in LinkedIn banner, and there are 2,255 banners that you can choose from to optimize your banner. So if you're going to create a banner for yourself, a better banner, just write banner in the chat so I know. We can banter about the banners all day long. But Joe, you need a better banner. You also need to give people your contact information, because if you're the vice president of this company and you want new clients, which I'm assuming you do want new clients, you got to let people know. And now I'm going to save Joe into a special list of sales lists. I'm actually going to change the list from this to saved. These are my new, and actually I'm going to add you to the Executives Association webinar because you came to the webinar. So I just saved you to these 2 lists, and actually I see all the people that registered for this, and I could even see all the people that attended after, because I'm going to create a list of all the people that attended. so I can click one button and thank them all. Very interesting, right? Isn't this interesting? Okay, so I need a better banner, Nicole said. Yes, you do. We all need better banners. You can always improve your banner. Let me pull up somebody else's profile. Let me pull up Doug. Doug, can I pull up your profile? It looks like Doug customizes URL. If you guys haven't customized your URL, I recommend customizing your URL. Joe did not customize his URL, and there's a number after it. Doug did, and there's no number after it. Okay, now let's listen to Doug's little 10-second introduction.
Hi, I'm Doug Denance.
Wow, what a sexy voice. Wasn't that sexy? I liked it. This is amazing. Doug, I love it. Do you know what I say on mine? Let's listen to mine. Not as sexy, but listen.
If you actually listen to this, send me a DM and let me know that you heard this. I'm curious to know how many people actually listen to this. My name is Joe Apfelbaum. That's how you pronounce my name.
Isn't that cool? I know how many DMs I get on a weekly basis from people saying, by the way, Joe, I heard your thing. That gets people to reach out to me, and I build a relationship with people that are lurkers. They never liked, they never commented, they never even connected, but they sent me a message saying, I heard your stuff. I heard your voice note, Joe. I'm letting you know that I heard it. It works. I love it. You want to get people to reach out to you. You got to let them know to reach out to you. So Doug, my recommendation for you is, look at that. Look how beautiful he does all this over here. My recommendation for you is you can have up to 2,600 characters in here, and you're only taking up a few characters. I would recommend adding more characters of content here of what you want people to do, who you are, your history, a story about yourself, some success stories. And also right here, it says voiceover artist at Doug Denance, right? You see that says it over here? You can add more content here. You can also explain who you help and how you help them. That's extremely beneficial to do that. Okay, Doug, that's very, very beneficial to do that. Now let's look at some of Doug's recent content. I'm going to click on see all activity. Then I'm going to click on posts to kind of see all his content. And you can see Doug has been sharing content. He's been posting content, but he hasn't been really writing what the video is about. A lot of people on LinkedIn are not going to watch this video. So you have the ability to add up to 3,000 characters in as content. I always do that in my content. I'll show you what that looks like. Let me open up my recent posts. And by the way, I bookmarked my recent posts so that I can go to it quickly and I don't have to think about it. Look at this. Even over here, do you know any real estate agents or real estate brokers in your network that actually enjoy networking? Blah, 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 blah. You see that? I write a whole thing of content here, and then I tell people what to do. And then I have 22 comments that I have to deal with after. You see that? And I reply to the comments and I build relationships. I wanted to start a premium networking group on Slack. People that love Slack, people start network. So I created a poll on LinkedIn, and check this out. Now I have 11 people who said they want to join a premium networking group on Slack. Now these 11 people might be able to pay me $1,000, $1,500 a year to be part of a group. And now I can start the group because these people want to be part of it. You see that? And I can create a Slack. I can have them invest in it, and then I can get more members to join, and that could turn into $1 million business on its own. And it all started from a measly little LinkedIn poll with the people that self-identified. Now I know people who love networking and don't love Slack. Look at that. I can see who they are. And so these are the people that maybe I can have them join my meetup group or some Zoom networking that I do. People that don't network and don't use Slack. These are people that I'm definitely not going to connect with because they're not into Slack and they're not into networking. And then people that love Slack but don't love networking. You can see that. And I can promote this poll by clicking on these three dots here. And then I could press copy link to post. And then I could share it anywhere you share posts. Like, for example, I just shared it in the bottom there. Okay, Sherry said, Joe, you asked about fire hose versus strip. You are a fire hose and just learned how you use the pole. Thank you. My pleasure. Let's take a break from the fire hose for a second so we could all take a deep breath. Remember I told you guys to breathe before? In from your nose, out from your mouth, because I can talk for 3 hours straight. Now I'm gonna drink some water too. My voice teacher told me, she said, Joe, in order for you to be able to talk for hours, you have to have nose breathing and you have to have hydration, because nose breathing moisturizes your voice box. Interesting, right? I didn't know that. I didn't know mouth breathing dries you out and nose breathing moisturizes you. This also works in the cold temperatures of Canada. If you want to warm up your ear, you can breathe in from your nose, and your nose will help you warm up the ear before it gets to your belly. I don't know if ear goes to your belly, but it goes into my belly. Okay, here we go. This is so true, Jan said. I love it. Great tips. Okay, somebody said, if your URL is not customized and we customize, do we have to change our social links? No, you don't. But I would recommend that you do. You don't have to, but I would recommend that you do because it's prettier. I like pretty things. I like things that are pretty, that are organized, like snowflakes. So I want your LinkedIn profile to be like a snowflake. You know, not everybody likes prettier things. Some people like messier things. I used to be that person that liked messier things. I never made my bed. And then I started making my bed and I realized, oh my God, I'm in my head. If you're in your head, you're dead. You got to get out of your head. And this way, I'm not in red. Instead, I'm in green because green is where you make the money. You can be lean like a machine. Do you want me to put on a beat and should I start rapping? Yes. Okay. So I want to know what you guys are wondering about when it comes to LinkedIn. Okay. So somebody said, if you only have 15 minutes a day, what should I do on LinkedIn? Okay. I say, make a checklist. Make a checklist of what you're going to do. There's a book called The Checklist Manifesto. Anybody read that book? It was written by a surgeon who never really believed in checklists because if someone goes to medical school for 4 years, 8 years, however many years, 12 years, and you tell them to use a checklist, they're going to want to spit in your face. What are you talking about? I went to school for this. You know, I'm a doctor. I'm a PhD in everything. Why are you telling me to use a checklist? What am I, stupid? No, but checklists save lives. So pilots use checklists. Surgeons use checklists. Nurses use checklists. You have to use a checklist if you want to be able to have a repeatable process. So my assistants use checklists. I want you to use a checklist for LinkedIn. So there are 3 things I want you to add to your checklist to do every single day. Number 1 is post. Number 2 is engage. And number 3 is message. And if you want to learn the best way to do that, I can send you information about our course and coaching program in the chat, or you can go to learnbusinessnetworking.com or just write interested in the chat and I'll just send you information and you can apply if you're interested in learning more about it. So post, engage, and message. So you might say, Joe, what should I post about? What should I post about? I don't even know what to post about. So let me show you some ideas of things to post about. All right, here we go. I'm going to share my screen right now so you guys can get some ideas of things to post about. So obviously you guys know that you can post a poll. Yes? You guys know how to do that? But if you guys don't know how to do that, you're not going to be very happy at the end because it's really hard to post. It's like not obvious. So I'll show you guys in a minute how to post a poll. So also you can post an image post. You guys saw this image over here. This image I created in Canva. If you're not sure how to use Canva, we can teach you how to do that as well. This is a video. You can do a video post on LinkedIn. You can embed a video. I did this video on my cell phone for 1 minute and then I posted it on LinkedIn. And like you said, over 100 people saw it in just 20 hours and many more will see it as well. You can create an article, a newsletter on LinkedIn if you have access to it. You can create animated GIFs and share animated GIFs. This is me climbing down a mountain, 120 feet down into a waterfall. I'm rappelling. It's called rappelling. I never knew this. I go to Hawaii. They're like, you want to do rappelling? I'm like, okay, what's rappelling? Is it eating? I love eating. And they're like, oh, no. You're going to go into a waterfall. I'm like, oh my God. I don't know what I signed up for, but I signed up for it. It scared the hell out of me, but I did it anyway. And I learned how to do it. And now, you got to trust the rope. You got to trust these 2 coaches that I have here teaching me how to go down a mountain. And I talk about fear and rejection and all this other stuff. You can also share multiple images. This is an obituary for one of our students, Clifford Pafford. He passed away last year. And I didn't know that it was the last time I would see him when he came to my LinkedIn local event in New York City in August. He came to an event and then he passed away shortly after. So I did a little tribute to him and 1,971 people saw that. And many of our community students got involved with that. I share the results of the polls that I have and I turn them into posts. I share selfies that I take. I usually take, before the pandemic, when you were allowed to sneeze in people's faces and they wouldn't freak out, I used to take 1,000 selfies with 1,000 LinkedIn connections or with 1,000 CEOs, but now I don't do that anymore. Now, if I get 150 selfies, I'm lucky because people are like, stay the hell away from me. Don't sneeze on me. Don't cough on me. Don't even rub your elbow on me. You know what I mean? That's what people do these days because they're afraid they're going to go viral. I don't want to go viral. Everyone already got COVID. No reason to go viral. Instead, have a strategy. So my strategy is 150 people. So Steven is one of my 150 people. Tina is one of my 150 people that I took a selfie with this year. If you want me to pull up the archives of me and Tina selfies, you can probably find it somewhere on LinkedIn. If you want to meet lawyers, like asking questions. Hey, does anyone know a lawyer? Like people posted lawyers. Public speaking tips. If you want to give tips about something that you used to not know, but now you know, your expertise. There's many different ideas. You can have even your Instagram reels. I don't know if do you guys use Instagram? Yes, no, maybe? Curious to know. Yeah, no. Leanne was like, no, I don't use, no, hell no, I don't use Instagram. But I use Instagram because my kids are watching it always. And I take some people from LinkedIn and bring them onto Instagram. So my Instagram is at Joe Apfelbaum. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you could definitely check it out. But check this out. I'm going to play this little Instagram clip. It's less than 15 seconds.
70s and 80s babies out here looking younger than everybody. 70s.
Okay, so that's a little thing that, and if it's less than 20 seconds, it'll keep replaying over and over and over. And people love those types of things. Someone told me they once watched my video like 50 times. And it was the same 10-second clip. And they didn't know. They were like, I don't know why you're doing the same thing over and over and over, but it's amazing. I was like, okay. A lot of people are just not tech savvy, and it's fun. It's fun just to connect with people and build relationships. Promoting my book or promoting someone else's book. You can do that on LinkedIn. You can ask people, what are your book recommendations? You can put pictures of a cow and make a bunch of jokes. Look at these are a bunch of cow jokes. Here's a good one. How do farmers count their cows? They use a calculator. What sound do you hear when a cow breaks the sound barrier? Cow boom. I love jokes. Anyway, what do you call a sleeping cow? A bulldozer. You can have takeaways from summits that you go to. You can share tips that you learn. And as you can see, I'm constantly doing these little surveys and polls, and thousands of people are seeing them. Here's a tool called Veed.io. If you guys never saw this tool allows you to add captions to videos. So I got together the top influencers on LinkedIn and got all their tips, all their secrets. I do that every year. And this is the little clip, that 497 people saw. Here, I'll play. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by my post. My name is Joe Apfelbaum, CEO of Ajax Union. And this is the 4th year we're doing the LinkedIn Influencer Summit. And I put together these incredible influencer. Now you might think, Joe, like, how did you edit this video? I didn't. I just put up a Zoom, put it into Veed. It made all the little text on the bottom. I exported it and uploaded it to LinkedIn, and that's it. And it was free. I just had to sign up for an account with them. Really simple. I mean, it's not easy, but it's simple. That's why you need someone to hold your hand and help you. Okay, so I think that Matthew put a link in the chat to apply for our program. If you want to apply, we have 9 modules that we walk people through how to be able to do the step-by-step process. And then we give you coaching. We give you lifetime access to group coaching where we support you twice a month. And we do a workshop every single month on how to do it. So these are ideas for posts. Do you see me learning how to become a scuba diver in a pool in Pompano Beach, Florida? That's just me. This is me sharing my story, sharing my life. I even do some tests on the algorithm just to see how people find my posts. I put nice pictures, like right before the weekend. I was like, oh, I'm enjoying Florida by my mother's house. What does your pictures look like? And look, people putting the comments of their pictures of what they're enjoying. You see that? This is called building real relationships with your connections. Let me tell you something. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. No one's going to do business with you or refer business with you if they don't know who you are. Am I right? Does this make sense? They have to get to know you. So why are you hiding? I'll tell you why you're hiding, and I tell you why I was hiding. I was hiding because I was afraid people would know me and they wouldn't like me because I didn't like myself very much. And that was the truth. The truth is I didn't love myself as much as I deserved to love myself, but I didn't even know that I didn't love myself. I didn't know that I thought I was an idiot. I thought, oh, I'm an idiot. Who would want to connect with me? Who even wants to hear my story? But a Navy SEAL pulled me aside and said, Joe, you are not an idiot. You are one of the most brilliant, inspirational, enthusiastic, amazing people. I was like, I'm blushing. Stop it, but tell me more. And he basically told me that, Joe, even if you're not so amazing in your head, just be yourself because everyone else is already taken. And I realized, you know what? What do I have to lose except for my reputation, my business, and everything else? Let me just share my life a little bit. So I started sharing and I lost some haters. There were some people that says, Joe, I can't stand you. I can't stand you. I can't stand you. You're so annoying. But then there were people that said, I love you. And many people said, I love you to me. Even people that did it in an inappropriate way. And it's fine. I'll just take all the love I can get. I love you. Great. I love you too. It's great. Let's love each other. Let's connect. Let's build relationships. And that's what people that will do business with you. It's people that know you. They trust you because you're an expert and you're sharing tips and because you're showing up and they like you. Right? You need those 3 ingredients in order to get to. So when someone to like you, they have to get to know you. You got to tell your story. Everyone has a story, right? You guys have a story. Everyone has a story. How'd you get into business? Why do you do what you do? What are your struggles? What are your fears? What happened? That's what your network wants to know. The stuff that you share at a networking event. Okay, this is powerful stuff, by the way. So for me, this is not just how I generate business. This is also, I get something called self-expression. And some people say self-expression is life. I've heard that saying many times. If you don't express yourself, you're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel repressed. You're going to feel pressed and pressured because we all have the need. Some people do it in therapy, right? They go to therapy and they speak all their stuff. And some people go on LinkedIn and share their life. It's a lot less expensive to go on LinkedIn and share your life. And you make money along the way. So share some stories. Tell people your struggles. Tell people where you're at. And people will come out of the woodwork and help you. Now, my question to you is, do you have a networking one sheet or do you need a one sheet? I'm curious to know who has a one sheet and who needs a one sheet. I'm going to show you Tina Larson's one sheet because I was very inspired by her one sheet. So we teach our students. Tina's one of our amazing students. I'm going to pull up her thing. I'm going to search for Tina Larson on LinkedIn. And when I search for Tina Larson, her profile comes up and her networking one sheet comes up. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? So we gave Tina this template inside our course in Canva that's editable. And she just basically changed all the stuff, put in her photo, her logo. And now she has the ability to have people see her one sheet to learn her 30-second introduction, her current projects, who she wants to meet, how to make an email introduction, and her skills, experiences, and passions. How cool is that? How cool is that? That's so amazing, right? Now let's look at my networking one sheet. Let me look at it right now. Look at this. And Tina just knocks it out of the park because she's an action taker. I'm going to click on documents. So you click on posts and documents. So you can actually upload a PDF to LinkedIn. And this PDF you can maximize and you can see it in big. You guys see this big PDF here? Lisa, am I boring you? I just saw you yawn. That's okay. That's okay. That was a joke. So when you maximize a PDF, here's a little hack. When you maximize a PDF, you go to the top right corner. You can actually download the PDF when you maximize it. You guys didn't know that? Most people don't know that. You have to maximize a PDF to download it on LinkedIn. But this tells you everything about me. This tells you what my current projects are for Q1 of 2022. It tells you who are my centers of influence, who I want to meet. So every time I have a conversation with someone, what I do after is they say, Joe, we talked a lot and I know exactly what you do for a living, but can you send me an email with some more info? You know what I do? I go to their profile and I send them my one sheet. Now my one sheet's already a template inside my system that we teach you how to use to be able to click one button and send an email. So if I want to send Lisa my one sheet, all I have to do is find Lisa on LinkedIn. Okay, so let me look up Lisa. Lisa, you think you're on LinkedIn? You think you're on there? Lisa Jordan.
I am, but I'm a lurker.
She's a lurker. Okay, well, that will hopefully change after this seminar because you have so much information to share. I mean, that story that you have about you being a DJ in the past and you being an amazing DJ, I mean, that's amazing. Having, not telling people just that you're an experienced self-starter, but telling people what you do, who you help, and how you help them with your contact info could be really useful to you in both of the things that you're doing. Adding more of the right connections, adding more members of the International Association, adding all the ambassadors. I'm one of the ambassadors. You added me. That's great. Or I added you, or we added each other. That's great. Now check this out. I want to email Lisa my one sheet. Yes? You guys want to see how I do it? So I click on send email with this little widget, this little Chrome plugin. Then I move Zoom out of the way. Then I click on this little drop down and I click on networking one sheet. And then it attaches the PDF right here. It's already attached. I press send. And now Lisa has my one sheet. That's it. And I can tell if she opened it by clicking on activities. I can see once it says sending right now. Once it sends, I could see if she opened it, how many times she opened it, how often she looked at my email, all this stuff right from here. Amazing, right? Unbelievable. And that's that. It's literally that simple. Creating a networking one sheet will help you be able to follow up. I always say most people are showing up and throwing up. Instead of showing up and throwing up, show up and follow up because the fortune is in the follow-up. Nothing happens when you go to an execs meeting except maybe a little gambling and a little fun, a little drinking, a little hugging, a little selfies, right? But then what happens is after the meetings that you set, the one-on-ones, the connections, the LinkedIn connections, the liking and commenting and all that stuff, that's part of follow-up. So if you're not following up, you're not going to get the benefits of networking. And LinkedIn is the easiest way to follow up because everyone's showing up. And that's where people are. People are showing up on LinkedIn. Now, I can sit here for the next several hours sharing tip after tip after tip after tip, but I think you guys get the point. I think you guys get the point. LinkedIn is important. LinkedIn is extremely important for those that are professional networkers, for those that need new business, for those that want more exposure. So if you need more referrals, just write, I need referrals in the chat. Not everybody needs referrals. Some people don't need referrals. That's okay. But if you need a couple more referrals, I need referrals. That's why I do it. I need referrals. I want to know who wants to learn LinkedIn. I want to know who needs a marketing agency for their business. So look at this. How many people need referrals? If you need referrals and you're not posting on LinkedIn, you're missing out. If you need referrals and you're not engaging with the people in your executives association that are posting or with their connections, you're missing out. If you're not messaging people on LinkedIn, and I didn't even get into messaging. Messaging is a whole module. There's a greeting, feeding, and meeting system that I train people on how to get responses on LinkedIn. It's not just about selling. Never sell. People hate being sold. But guess what? People love to buy. People love to buy. And I want to help people that need to buy by serving them, by giving them advice, not by trying to sell something to somebody that they don't need, they don't want, they don't even have the money for. They have to borrow money to buy something they don't need. That's Walmart. That's why we go to Walmart. We go to buy things we don't need with money we don't have for people we don't like. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Tina's cracking up. She's like, the reason I come is for comedy. It's comedy. Anyway, she's like, yes, yes, yes. It's entertainment, but it's also education. You see, you want to educate people. You want to entertain them, educate, and engage them. And if you can do that correctly, you're going to have clients for life. You're going to have enthusiastic clients that want to refer business to you. Now, Oliver said, I need the right referrals. Oliver, can you explain what the right referral is for you? Because I've never seen left referrals. I know. Some of you didn't get that. I know it's a dad joke. That's the typical dad joke. And I'm a dad. I got 5 kids. I'm divorced. I got 5 kids. I'm happy. Life is good. I got the kids and I got the freedom. Okay. He says, someone amputated a dad. Okay, cool. Oh, another dad joke. Okay, cool. So yes, another, and I have many more. If you go to my LinkedIn profile, it's like all over all my content. I try to shove in dad jokes there. Like some people get it, some people don't get it. I'm used to bombing. I heard from Jerry Seinfeld that you have to bomb to be successful. I got up on the same stage as him. I did a 6-week training on how to do stand-up comedy. And I realized it's just about getting on stage and talking the truth. And so he gave us a talk on the same stage that I did the next night. He gave us a talk to all the students, and he said, "You're not even an atom compared to what I am. You guys are sitting there and like learning how to do this stuff. You guys have to do this every day." He was saying, "You guys have to do this every day. You got to bomb and bomb and bomb." He's like, "For 40 years, bomb, and then maybe you'll become a Jerry Seinfeld." And we were all like, all right, so basically we shouldn't do it. He's like, no, do it anyway. It's fun. You got to do it if it's fun. If LinkedIn is not fun, you're not going to do it. You got to figure out how to make it fun, make it part of what you do. If it's not fun, will you do it? No one does something that's not fun, that's like hard to do. So find the thing on LinkedIn that you think is most fun for you, the type of content you want to produce. You want to add connections, send DMs, build relationships. As a matter of fact, you can actually search for people's cell phone numbers on LinkedIn and just call them. You guys want to see how I do that? Yes? You want me to show you how to do that? Okay, this is cool. Check this out. This is really awesome. I love this. This is one of my favorite things to do. Cold calling. I know it's weird. I know it's weird that I like it, but I like it. So let's say, for example, I want to call somebody up. I just search an area code, 917. Okay, 917. I search 917. I click people. I just click people. I click 917. And I scroll down and I see, oh my gosh, everyone's putting their cell phone numbers here. Text me, call me. All right, let's call Dagan. He's the president of Brooklyn Cement. He put his cell phone number here. Yes? Should we call him? Should he see if he wants to learn about LinkedIn? I could just call him right now. Why not? Let's save the contact here. Let's add his cell phone number. Let me just go to him. I don't have his email because he didn't put his email here. Oh, look at that. His email's right here. I can copy his email. I can add it to the program here. Over here, I can add his email here. Now I can send him emails. I want to add his cell phone number. Let me just copy his cell phone number. He has a cell phone. He says, just call me. All right, let's call him. Like I have thousands of people I can call. So I'm going to pull up this tool over here, which has all his information that I just added here automatically. I'm going to add a phone number because I got his phone number, a verified cell phone number. Okay, I'm going to press save. Now I have his phone number here. I'm going to call him. Let's see. Let's show the caller details. Let's see what happens. Is he going to pick up? I don't know. Let's find out.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box
All
that has
right,
not
so we'll
been
leave him a
set up yet.
voicemail. Oh, we can't even leave him a voicemail. Shucks.
Goodbye.
All right, goodbye. See you later. That didn't work. All right. I'm going to write. It was an opportunity, a prospecting call, whatever. And I can literally have the recording inside my system over here. That's pretty cool, right? Isn't that nifty? Now, if you need to make calls to people, you can call them and build relationships. Their cell phone numbers are right on their profiles for many people. Thousands of people. Just put in your area code on LinkedIn and see what comes up. So powerful to do this. And it's not rocket science, but you need to have a strategy, because if you just randomly call somebody, you don't know what to say, you're going to look like a fool. A lot of people call me randomly, like, you want a car warranty? I was like, no, I don't even have a car. Leave me alone. I use Uber. I want an Uber warranty. Do you have an Uber warranty? Click. They hang up on me. I was like, who's your sales manager? Where'd you get your script from? You guys need to learn how to use LinkedIn. You're a bunch of idiots. He's like, we're not idiots. We know how to do it. I was like, get your manager on the phone. I need to give him advice. How many people, and I build relationships. I love when people cold call me. I keep them on for a long time and they don't like that at all. I build relationships. I say, what's your name? First name, last name? Oh, look at that. You live in 71 Charlottesville Street. Is that you? Oh, look at that. Is your Aunt Martha? I can pull all the information up from the internet. All the information's available. People are like, who's this guy? I was like, you called me. Why? Like, and we have a whole argument over here. And I love arguing. It's amazing. Anyway, you can have so much fun with LinkedIn, but just do what's fun for you. And most people are scared of it. If you're scared of it, you're not going to do it. I used to be afraid of networking. I write this in my book, High Energy Networking. I used to be afraid of it. I walked into a Chambers of Commerce event. I almost had a heart attack. I wanted to leave right away, but the elevator wasn't coming. And he was an insurance guy that wanted me to come have a beer with him. So I went to have a beer with him. And he said, just give out your business cards to everybody. He's like, that's what you do. So I gave my business cards to everyone. It didn't work. Giving your business cards to everyone doesn't work. What works is getting to know people, connecting on LinkedIn, liking and commenting on their stuff, posting things of value. That's what's going to work. All right. So introverts works because introverts get their energy from being alone, but they still love relationships, right? Sherry, do you love relationships? Yes. You love relationships. You love connecting with people deeply. Just your energy comes from you turning off Zoom and just having a coffee and relaxing. That's where you get your energy, from books, from relaxing, from being by yourself, not from being crowds. But it doesn't mean you can't pick up the call as an introvert and have a script that you use. You can work off a script, pick up the phone and say, hey, Bob, the reason why I'm calling you is because I see that you're on LinkedIn, and you put yourself a number on your profile. Is it now a good time to talk? He's like, of course it's a good time to talk. I'm driving in my car to Muncie. Oh, what are you doing in Muncie? And then we build a relationship. And before you know it, it's not about being an extrovert. It's about having a strategy. You get what I'm saying? You just follow your script. And the worst case scenario is you just hang up, because the phone number that I'm calling from, no one could even call from. So no one even knows who I'm calling. So I don't call it cold calling. I call it cold pranking. I'm calling, it's just, you just have a good time with it. And worst case scenario, you build a real relationship with someone. Worst case scenario, you close a deal. Worst case scenario, you invite someone to the execs event. This is powerful. And I can show you, there are 7 different hacks that I can show you, but there's only 5 minutes left. I want to answer some questions. Can we book time? May I book time? Yes, you can book time. You just go to learnbusinessnetworking.com, or you can go to learn.evergreen.com/networking. I'll post a link in the chat for that. And then you can speak to Matthew for a few minutes, learn about our program. Matthew booked 70 meetings in his first month of working with us, closed $10,000 in new business, and he now has a $500,000 pipeline. He built that over the past 6 months. But in the first month, he booked 70 meetings. And I can show you how to do that. It's not rocket science to do it. It's just a matter of having the courage to do it, because mindset is 80% of success. So if you're afraid of meetings, I promise you're never going to book a meeting. You're going to be like, let me go to the execs event and have some tuna fish, because that's easy. You don't want that. You don't want the tuna fish. It's infested. It's infested. Don't eat the tuna fish. Okay, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but it's fun. We're having a good time. So what did you guys learn? What was your takeaway? Somebody said, Joe, how do you do a poll? Okay, let me show you how to do a poll. For those of you that are curious, somebody said, Joe, how do you do a poll? I can't find it. Of course you can't find it. LinkedIn hides it. It's Microsoft. They make everything difficult. You don't even know where the start button is anymore on LinkedIn, on your computer. They hide it. All right, so if you click on home on LinkedIn, and then you click on the start a post button. Okay, so if you want to write a post, you click on the start a post button. You're going to see 3 little dots. It's almost like I'm giving you instruction on how to find a synagogue in Jerusalem. You got to go make a left. When you get to the tree, make a right, like that. Anyway, so you click on these 3 little dots and then ask someone. Just kidding. Click on create a poll. That's the famous thing is like in Hebrew is like, go there, make a left, make a right, make a right, make a left, and then ask somebody. That's the famous joke. Anyway, I'm cracking myself up. But that's how you create a poll. You click in here, start a post. You click on the 3 little dots and you click on start a poll. And then you put the question, you put your options, and then you create the post after that. Okay. Gonna work on that 3rd step, post, engage, and message. Okay, messaging is extremely important. I'm gonna show you guys another hack real quick on messaging. So you can create a group message. For example, if I wanna create a group message between Lisa, Jordan. So me and Lisa are connected, yes. And then I'm gonna add Tina to this group message. Tina Larson. I'm gonna add, anybody else wanna join this group message or should it just be me, Lisa, and Tina? Okay, now I'm gonna click in here and I'm gonna change the group name to International Executives Association LinkedIn Follow-Up Group. Okay, so we're the follow-up group. I'm gonna write boom. Now I wanna invite the rest of you to join this. Okay, anybody wanna join this? Just write me in the chat if you guys wanna join this little follow-up group. Okay, now, if we're not connected on LinkedIn, I cannot add you to this group, but you can add yourself if I turn that setting on. Do you guys wanna see how I turn that setting on? I click on the 3 little dots. Remember, the 3 little dots are your friend. Then you click on add and remove people. And then you turn the little thing where it says invite others to join this chat. You turn that on. Then you press copy this link. This is a unique link that takes you into this LinkedIn chat. So I paste it in there and you guys click on that. You can invite yourself into this chat. And now we're inside the same group DM. I turn this on. And then look at that. Look at that. We got one person, Belgie. Did I say Belgie or Belgie? I'm not sure. Oh, look at that. Mark joined. Natalie joined. Look at that. Ira joined. Look at that. We're having a crowd. It's a party. It's a party. I gotta find a beat for this party. There's got to be a beat. I have a folder full of beats, ladies and gentlemen. I also have beats in my fridge. I love beats. Let me see if I can put on a nice little hip hop beat. Here we go. Here's a little beat. Yo, check my flow. We got 2 minutes left here. Anybody want to rap? Give me a boom in the chat if you want to rap. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Yo, my name is Joe and I'm the LinkedIn pro. Everybody out there that is in this Zoom, you better go in the chat and give me a boom because we got Lisa Jordan in the chat. Are we going to put a boom? Yes? No? Okay, so then we can stop the beat. We can stop the beat. We don't have to. No boom, no beat. No. Oh, look at that. We're getting booms now. Too late. Too late. We'll have to schedule a meeting for this because we're almost at the end. So Lisa, do you want to take us off? It's 4 o'clock. People have to leave. What did we get out of this? And we'll continue this conversation in this chat over here. But what did we get?
Thank you, Joe. That was highly entertaining and informative, which is hard to do. So I think everyone got some good tidbits that they can take back and apply right away. And I think you all know how to find Joe if you need to find Joe and ask him additional follow-up questions. Hopefully we don't need Joe to paste his information in the chat. You guys all know how to get a hold of him. So thank you, Joe. Thank you for your time. And thank you, everybody. If you know someone who missed the presentation and would like to see it, it will be posted on the IEA website under member benefits. There's a link for IEA webinar. You know where to find it because that's where you went to register for this webinar. It'll be posted in probably by the end of the week. So you can go and grab the recording and share it with everyone you know so that everyone can learn how to be a LinkedIn pro like Joe.
Thank you very much, everybody. And remember, if you guys need any support, I'm here for you. You can find me on LinkedIn at joelinkedin.com. It takes you straight to my profile on LinkedIn, joelinkedin.com. And if you haven't gotten my book yet, I highly recommend this book. I've written it myself and I'm reading it. Every time I read it, I learn something new from my own knowledge because sometimes I forget the things that I know. It's not what you know, it's what you do. So this book, every chapter takes less than 5 minutes to read and has an action item to it. So get it. It's available at cost price on Amazon. You just pay for the printing, pay for the shipping, and they send you the book the next day. So I highly recommend you get it. And I just appreciate you very much. So if you connect with me on LinkedIn, make sure that you note this webinar because I have 1,000 people waiting to connect with me on LinkedIn and I want to get you into my connections. But just make sure that you note that so that I know who you are. I appreciate you endlessly. Thank you for being in my life and have a blessed and beautiful day.
Thanks, Joe. Bye, everybody.